Hey all again, it's Nikos here. I hope you can all hear me and you can see my pretty chart. Just give me quickly a yes so I know we are on. Great, we can really start immediately because as promised we only have 100 seats and those are filled. It's really, I apologize for the people that are going to watch the video later on. We told everybody that we have 100 seats and everybody else can watch the recordings afterwards. Live is of course always better, but it's fine, you know, it's not the end of the world. So I'm really excited because I see so many new names here, of course also older members, people we already know. Welcome all to our 800k intro workshop here. And my first question, where are you guys from? I saw so many countries. Can you give me quickly your country just to see? USA, Netherlands, Poland, Sweden, India, South Africa, Austria, Egypt, Ukraine, Denmark, Ghana, Italy. Wow, that's crazy. Romania, USA again, Lithuania, okay, Australia, Israel, Cayman Islands, wow, Jamaica, Dubai. Crazy. That's it. I'm always, every time this happens, I'm always surprised how easily we can connect now, right? Compared to, I don't know, even 10 years ago it wasn't that easy, but now it's so easy just to connect with everybody. It's really crazy. Perfect. Yeah, now I think we can really, it's a small word. Yeah, exactly. There we go. Santa Claus, there we go. Santa Claus is also here, guys. That's perfect. We're getting close, right? Christmas is close. Oh man, perfect. Okay, so I guess we start, right? We start right away. I don't want to waste your time for sure. Okay, so we haven't done much in terms of new live events over the summertime, and the reason actually partly is that we get so many emails, right? Everyday emails, people telling us about success they have, about failure, about issues, problems they have, and our job is actually trying to find solutions for your problems, right? In trading, of course. The thing is, it's not always that easy because every trader has a different background, different experience levels. If you don't know people personally, it's really sometimes difficult to help. Yeah, and to see what the problem really is or where the problem really lies. Usually it's not a technical thing. It's not like people are not smart enough or something that they can, for instance, do an analysis, or even after a couple of weeks learning like a top-down approach, something we like to do. Technically, most people are able to follow through with a simple strategy, but they cannot make profits, or they cannot keep their profits for longer than a couple of weeks. Some people give it back. Some people even, get emotionally really kind of crazy and they lose everything. And then they start from scratch and it's like repeating again and again and again and again. Sorry, what's with the sound? Is it better now? Let me check, guys, if it's too weird. What about now? Test 1, 2, 3. Okay now? Okay, just let me know if anything, if there's anything funny. About the issues, right? Traders have, and it's not always that easy because for instance, some traders they started a week ago trading, and they have a really, let's say, they don't carry any bad luggage, or they don't have bad experience, and a few things for them is enough to start making slowly profits, get the experience. Of course, they will experience also the bad part of trading, the waiting part, or the wrong money management, or some technical mistakes and all that, but they kind of survive and start growing their account, and they get it done, and that's it. It happens all the time, but mostly it isn't like that. Most people have bad experience, or they didn't have enough, not knowledge, or they're too hasty, I would say, and suddenly, they try all kind of trading styles and systems, and then it doesn't work out, and then they have already that bad experience. It's really not easy afterwards for those traders to jump over those hurdles and make things easier. Okay, so and that's that difficult part where we always try to figure out what the problem is. And sometimes, yes, we can help very, very fast and immediately, and sometimes not. And I was really thinking and discussing with Dr. Jeff. He's also here, by the way, right? You were talking to him all the time. So we were discussing and trying to figure out what we can do to really help not only the new traders, of course for them it will be great, but also the more experienced traders that for some reason can't really get off the ground. They cannot make consistent long-term profits. And I had an idea, and I haven't done that before, where I said, okay, what I will do is simply go back a whole year, gather all the informations from my personal trading, each and every trade, find them on the charts, create charts with entries, targets, stops, trailing stops, the emotional part. I don't remember each and every trade I took emotionally or technically, but most of them, the most important trades, the really powerful ones, I remember very, very well. So my idea was to gather all those trades and discuss them one by one, explaining the reasons for the entry, the reasons for the exit, how I felt before the trade, how I felt after the trade, what my goal was, what the risk was, and why. Okay, the times, the days, all these things matter. Because as I said, it's not difficult to understand a technical system for most traders. It will take you a couple of weeks, then you get the hang of it, sometimes much less. But the problem is to really identify not the setup, but to really see what's going on in the market, to see if the price is volatile, the market is volatile or not, if there's momentum, if the setups are actually looking good, if the targets are big enough, if it's worth taking this trade on a particular Forex pair or whatever product for many little tiny reasons. And if you have the experience, okay, then you know immediately by looking at that chart what you want and where you want to go. And I'm trading for almost 18 years or longer now, and those things, I don't think about that anymore. I just see something and I either like it or I don't, and I know my numbers. I know when I want to get in, why not. I can actually feel those things. Okay, I don't only see it on the chart, but I can feel it. When I feel really good about a trade, it just gives me like great energy. Just by looking at the chart, I know, okay, I have a really great chance that being a winning trade. Not always, but very, very often. Okay, and when I have that feeling, I'll go with it. I'll not start trading, and then I'll start managing the trade according to how it unfolds. Okay. Of course, we have rules for everything. Basic, simple rules how to get in and how to get out. But sometimes, especially when we are trading swing trades and have long-term positions, the market behavior is changing. And when that happens, we have to manage a trade maybe differently than we planned in the first place. Okay? And if you get good at this, then the rest is really easy. So again, as I said before, instead of going just over the strategies, which of course we will do, but we will put more emphasis on why and how we manage things technically, but also emotionally. Because the bigger you trade, the more issues kind of appear. At least emotionally, you think things are getting more difficult, which are not, because it's always the same. But our mind can play funny games with us, so we want to make sure we use a few tricks to help our mind, relax, calm down, and make the right decisions. Does it make sense? Who understands what I'm talking about, more or less? It's not that easy for me to explain, in 2 minutes, but as we are going, you will start understand what I'm talking about, more or less. Okay. Yeah, and it doesn't really matter if you do swing trading or day trading or combine both. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you understand how the markets work, that you know how to get in, how to get out, but mostly how to manage, especially a swing trade, a long trade. Okay, trade that goes on sometimes for days or for weeks even. Okay. It does not mean that you cannot do scalping or day trading, but I always prefer, especially the new traders, to start with swing trading, because you have much more time to take a decision, to manage the trade, to think about what you're doing and how to manage this. It's like I always like to say, it's like going into the gym first time of the day, first time you go there. You don't start lifting 500 kilos the first day, right? You start trading with 5 kilo, working out with 5 kilos, and then 10 or 20. You go slowly. It's the same with trading. Scalping and day trading would be like the 500 kilo, and swing trading is the 5 and 10. And the thing is that with swing trading and position trading, you can make, say, the same or even more profits by trading much less, not spending a lot of time in front of your PC. Okay. Again, questions. I would like, everybody, you probably, as we go, you will have questions. So write down your questions, and when we are finished today, afterwards, we do Q&A, and you can ask whatever you want. Okay. Okay, great, Bill. Yeah. Now, yeah, I would say I'll do that talking as we go anyway. I'll explain the basics of the system, the top-down approach, the reasons and everything. But then I want to really go and, for today, use two examples that I have prepared on charts, because for sure we cannot do all of them today. That's what we're going to do. In about 2 weeks from now, we will have a 5 days full workshop covering everything I just explained, step by step. Okay, but we will cover a lot today as well. So today, the technical and emotional Spartan ABC, which means we are going over the basics of the system. Now, the basic Spartan system is something you can actually watch on YouTube, and we will send you an email later on with that YouTube link for the new traders that have no clue what we are doing. In this video, I am explaining the basics of the system. We are going over this today as well. We will spend about 15 minutes explaining the simple top-down approach on the Spartan system, and then I want to help you, giving you a couple of tricks to make good decisions, technical and also emotional decisions. And we are going to work on 2 trading examples, trades I took for clients that I already pointed out for today. Actually 3. And of course, after doing that, I want to discuss a little bit the obstacles traders have. And the biggest obstacle is not the technical part or even the emotional. Mostly, I can see that from the emails I get, is time. Time is an issue. Traders have all the goodwill, or they have like the passion for trading, but often not enough time to kind of make their dreams come true. Okay, so time is an issue, and a good solution, having all those nice free softwares that we can use for our charts, is to have indicators or simple EAs that help you save time and money. What I mean is we have ways to help you figuring out your money management part, your trading setups, so you don't have to sit in front of the PC a long time. I will show you that stuff all today, what we have prepared for you. And that is really something powerful that you can use and probably want to use each and every day to save a lot of time, so you'll be actually focused on the trading and not on chasing the markets. Okay, very important. Now, somebody's writing, sorry guys, I don't look that much at this chat box while as I'm talking, because I get sidetracked. So do we have anything here? 1 second. Okay, I think we're good to go. So are we ready to start on the charts? I think I explained in a nutshell what we are going to do today. Are we ready? Any questions before that? Everybody? Just keep on typing so I know that you are still here, guys, and you're not falling asleep. Just want to make sure I'm not talking to myself, right? Okay, there we go. That's better. Okay. Now, before we get to the charts, I want to point one thing out. The interest says 800K, right? And some people say, okay, yeah, great. If you have a couple of millions, clients' money, and you trade with I don't know, millions, of course it's easy, even with low risk, to make 5, 6, 7, 800,000 in a year. No problem. But what about me with my $500 and $1,000 account, right? The thing is, I'll show you something here. I took a screenshot of this. I usually don't do that. It's private stuff here. It's I had to delete or get rid of the IBAN code, so it's for sure private. So it's a little German here. Sorry for that, but you probably get it. The numbers are most important. So what you see here is this kind of a performance since August 2016 on this trading accounts, which is only mainly for Forex. Okay, but you'll say, okay, now 800 grand doesn't seem so much if I look at the account size, right? The thing is, those are just numbers, guys. Those are only numbers. And it means if you can do that with $1,000, you can also do it with 5,000. And if you can do it with 5,000, you can do it with 10,000. And if you can grow an account 100%, 150%, 200% over time, following your rules, money management rules, not getting too excited, not over trading, not risking too much, what will happen? People will beg you literally to manage their money, okay, for them. They will ask you, please, can you manage some of my money? And suddenly, even if you have a $10,000 account or $15,000 account, suddenly you can have people from all over the world giving you access to their really big trading accounts, and you can trade with whatever amount. Okay, and if you just stick to those rules and know exactly what you're doing, then there is no limit. Okay, of course it is. That's why you don't start with $1 million, right, Tibor? You'd never start with $1 million or 2 million or 3. You usually start with a couple of thousand. But the mindset doesn't come with the numbers. Yes, the bigger it goes, the first or second time you click the button, the mouse button, you're probably trembling, or you cannot even breathe. Okay, but that will take like 2-3 times, and it's over. Because you have to focus on your trading style, on the system, on your risk management, and you need confidence. Okay, and if you have that confidence on $1,000, which you grow to 2,000 or whatever, then you can grow $1 million to 5 and 10 and 50 and whatever. I had a member a couple of years ago, started with $1,000 account, and he's managing $50 and $100 million accounts at that point. Okay, so it doesn't matter. It's just a number, and this is just a Forex account. Okay, so don't freak out if you see those big numbers. It doesn't mean anything. It's easy. Please, you can believe me. It's easy. It's not difficult at all. Okay. Mindset comes with practice routine. Yes, there we go, Edward. Yeah. That's it. Now, what do we need? We need to understand and see the markets on the charts. See, when I say see, you need to see what's really going on, not what you want to see. Very, very important, right? Sometimes, we just want to trade, and, we try with our fantasy to see something that is not there. And then we start clicking all buttons, but it doesn't work, and then we are pissed. So that's not how we want to do things, okay? Of course, also we need to plan our trading. It means we need a simple, powerful trading plan that we can actually follow. A trading plan that we write down somewhere and it looks all fancy, but we are not able to follow it, is worthless. You can download examples, all over the place for free in the internet, I guess. I can send you some. But if you're not able to follow your own trading plan, it doesn't mean anything. So this is something that we're also going to learn during our 5 days event. Okay? All those things we are going to discuss in combination with all the charts. Understanding money and risk management. That's the most important part. If you risk too much and it works out, you will be very, very happy. But if you risk too much and it doesn't work out, then you will be sad, angry, and then emotions take over and all the bad things start happening, and then you start from scratch, kind of discouraged, and it's not a great feeling. So you try to keep that here as, rule number 1. Take action and apply your own rules when you get the green light. What I mean by this is, depending on what trading plan you have, you will set your own set of rules. Even if you follow our simple Spartan strategy, You will have your own rules in terms of pairs, in terms of whatever products, times, trading style, and you have to follow that. And when I mean green light, I mean when you see a setup on the chart according exactly to what you're looking for, then you have to take action and trade. If it doesn't look great, you don't trade. Okay? Now, you have to change your mindset and transform into money magnet with a few exercises every single day. Like I have a few exercises that I have done for many, many weeks and months. Now I don't do it anymore because it's part of who I am. All those little things, how to attract actually money by looking for good setups, by knowing exactly what to do. Okay, this comes with experience, but you also need a few exercises. Remember, most people are not used to make money in financial markets. Most people have a job, which is not a bad thing at all. Okay, don't get me wrong. If you love your job, it's great. Okay, but what happens, at your job or with your job that you are going to make, I don't know, 1, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, wherever you're, depending where you're living, dollars every month. Okay, and you will get that as long as you work there. Now with Forex or with any financial market, it doesn't work like this. You won't get any monthly payments. You cannot think in terms of, I'm going to make 2,000 every month. I'm going to make 5,000 every month. No, it doesn't work like this. It works really different. So you have to change that. And again, I have exercises for that. And if you change this kind of mindset, it won't only work for Forex, it will work everywhere. It's kind of a different level, a different frequency that you're working with that you cannot understand if you haven't experienced that yet. Okay, so I need to practice with you and give you exercises that you can actually apply immediately. Okay, that will change your mindset. And then combining all those few points, actually, it's not much. You have to repeat that again and again and again and again. This will give you the results you're looking for. And this is a guarantee. I don't like to say that, but it is really like that. You get this all together, no way you're going to fail. I use the word impossible. But if you mess up one of those parts, especially this one and this one, point 2 and 5, okay? If that's not working right in your head, in your mind, on paper, then making money in financial markets, especially trading, will be hard. And it does not have to be hard. It can be very easy. Okay? Then, of course, if you start practicing all that, okay, you shouldn't get sidetracked. Meaning, what often happens, you do something, a system, a strategy you like, and then the market is changing behavior. And for whatever reason, you don't find setups according to your trading style, trading plan, and trading system. So what traders or people that want to be traders often do is they'll start looking for alternative strategies. Like they want to look for something different. Just saying, okay, I want to look for a different strategy or a different trading style only for a couple of days, and if the market is back on track, I'll then go back to my stuff. That doesn't work like this. If you do this, you really will probably, not all people, but really I'm talking about like 9 out of 10 will have issues, because you will uh, um, lose focus totally, and then you can start immediately from scratch. You don't want to do this. Okay. um, we call that simply system overload. You heard that before, right? And again, plan your trades, trade simple, and apply great money management rules. That's the basic thing. System overloads means no profits. Guarantee. This I can really guarantee you. If you're looking at too many systems and trying to learn them all and try to apply them all, you're not going to make long-term profits. I'm not talking about making a couple of pips here and there. I'm talking about long-term. You know, when we do a course, a program like we do now, we want to make sure that the information we're giving out, everything we share, is transparent 100%, but also something that really works. Really. Not something that, you know, we can play around with a couple of days and then we look for something else. No. Every time we do something like that, we want everybody to pay close attention and try to follow through, even if it's hard some days. Okay? Okay. Great. Yeah, I'll think I said enough already. I think you get the point. Was it too fast, guys? Do you need any addition to this? Anything, you know, explained before I go to the charts, to our charts, and start analyzing a little bit? Okay. Okay, great. Perfect. That's what I do right away. And of course, we are going to discuss our indicators and the A's later on. I will show you stuff you will probably like a lot. Let me read. Okay. Murali, I get the point. Yes. Okay. I share with you one chart here first. That trade, Eddie, yeah, system overload is a new trader's obstacle for sure. Not only new traders. I kind of got lucky when I started in 1999 with stocks. Didn't have much money. There was nothing out there. Nobody would tell you anything anyway. So no system, so no way to have any system overload. I mean, I lost my money anyways, but simply just with one stupid mistake I did by risking everything on one stock. Okay, so that was stupid, of course. Now I look back and if it wasn't that sad, I would start laughing, but I don't want to remember that. I'll probably start crying. But it's now it's worse because now you have so many different systems. Some of them actually work, but most of them don't, and it's very difficult for new traders to actually choose. It's really hard now for people to make decisions, but okay, that's a different story. Now, can you all see my chart? Let's go into this one. USD Canadian dollar. Can you all see the USD CAD 4-hourly chart? Okay. I don't know if, you know, it's too small here, if you can read everything. If you have any issues, you let me know, right? Now, this trade was taken last year in August. So I gathered the results from August 2016 to August 2017. What I've done here I will explain to you on the on the live charts when I'm doing the Spartan basics with you like soon. I just want to show you simply what's going on here. Um, I have an account protection order, which everybody else is calling stop loss. We don't like to call it stop loss because it sounds so bad. But account protection order sounds pretty powerful and good, so that's actually what it does. It protects your account from bigger harm, right? So we have a stop or account protection order, stop loss of 60 pips split into 3 positions. We like to split positions into multiple parts and take incremental profits. And the risk for this trade was 0.5%. Here you can see target 1, target 2, and you can see what happens. What I did to the third lot, I took out half of the third lot at major support, and then my last half got stopped out on a trailing stop. So for the new traders, it probably doesn't make much sense what I just explained. Okay, here you can see the profits made, 0.9% on this trade. Okay, and here's another entry which was long against a main trend which had a stop of 70 points, but the risk for all 3 positions was only 0.2%. And this one hit my stop, so I got kicked out totally, and then it went my way. So what I'm trying to show you and tell you and say to you is that just because I have experience and I know what I'm doing doesn't mean that I win every trade. So if anybody tells you I have 100% winning system or 90% or 99 or whatever, don't listen to that. It doesn't mean anything. Okay, it doesn't matter how many times you win and how many times you lose. What matters is that you understand risk management and that you make more than you give back. So in the end you keep something. Does that make sense? Yes or no? That's the only thing I want to know right now, if you understand this. I need more people typing. I want to see what 100 people are in here. You can all type, come on. At least half of you. Okay, cool. So I will get back to this chart later on, explain exactly what happened. But before I do this, we want to spend 15 minutes explaining the basic Spartan system. Now, for everybody that already knows how that works, and there are probably many of you, everybody else can take a small coffee break. 15 minutes, because I want to explain the basic strategy to the guys, so what I will explain afterwards will make sense to them. Okay? And then even if the guys that are totally new don't understand fully what we are going to do here right now in the next 15 minutes, I will send you the link to the YouTube video which explains the Spartan basic system on live chats anyway. Okay? So for everybody else that thinks it doesn't have to be here right now, you take a coffee break. Okay. Oh, 10 minutes. I'll try to keep it short, really. But it's important. Now for that, please give me a pair. What pair do you want me to approach and analyze with you? Whatever it is. Just the first guy typing will, okay, USDN, there we go. Done. USDN, it is. Let's see if I have it already here. Okay. There we are. It's done, guys. Okay, you don't have to type anymore. I just did pick the first one. Cameron had already was typing faster, guys. Sorry. USD The first thing we want to do, and many members know that already, is a top-down approach, meaning we want to know if it makes sense to trade on this pair. And it makes only sense to trade on a pair if it is actually volatile and moving. So we have momentum going on, right? We want to see this pair moving actually in either in up or down. It doesn't matter in which direction, but it has to move. Also, you can make notes, by the way, or you can just watch the video later on. Again, I would recommend everybody does that afterwards anyway, right? First thing is volatility, but we also want a trend direction. The bigger the trend, the easier for us to find setups and get in. The easier for us to find actually targets. And it's much easier to understand a chart if it's trending. Okay, most traders think that, oh man, you have to be able to analyze a crazy looking chart, and if you cannot do that, you don't know about things. You don't know how things work. It's not exactly true. Yes, you need to know how let me just find one. A crazy looking chart looks like. For instance, this here. What is that? I'm asking like the not that experienced traders. How many of you are new to trading in here anyway? Okay. Okay. Ranging. Yeah, 6 years is not new, right? No worries. Just kidding. Okay. Exactly. So, the markets do always two things. They either trend or they range. That's what they do. Okay, so we need to identify a trending and a ranging market so we can make our decisions or not. Now, if a chart looks like that, where we find a lot of lows in this case, price finding an area where it's always bouncing in this area, not actually moving lower, okay, then we find actually support in this area, and we call that horizontal support. So if we have horizontal support, this is a horizontal line, we know that price is not trending at this point. It's probably ranging, especially when you also see that it's not actually moving higher. So you have a range between those two levels, right? 2 times the price is trying to break those levels. It's trying to break up, but it's not actually staying above this line. It's coming back and retesting the lows, trying again, doesn't work, comes back, and then retesting this for a while before actually breaking out, right? So when we identify that, we already know that we have a range, and we know that it doesn't matter on what time frame. If you see that, you know it's ranging. And we are not interested to trade in here unless we do range trading. We don't do that today. Okay, we try to look for something simple today, and that's the basic Spartan ABC 123 system. So if the price is ranging, we don't trade. We want to see this. We want to see the price coming out, moving out of a range like that, and move into one direction with retracements, pullbacks in between for sure, but it has to go somewhere. Okay, so for the new traders, remember, if I take my horizontal line and come on, where is that line? Sometimes it's so small. If you find multiple touches, on a price level here, horizontally, and you take this line and you can connect all those lines with this with one touch with multiple touches here. Look, touching here, 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 and here. Now you have horizontal support, as I said. The same thing you do with resistance. You take this horizontal line and find multiple touches. You want to see at least 3 or more touches. If you get at least 3 or more, then you have a clear and clean range for the new traders, right? Now, if the price is moving in one direction, in this case up, and it's creating what we call higher highs and higher lows. So it's creating a high and then it's breathing out. Remember, it's a living thing. The markets are alive because those are millions of traders that all want to make money. Most of them don't. And then price is going back up, retracing back down, retracing. But this retracement, this breathing in and breathing out part, this retracement is higher than the previous one. So it doesn't retrace back all the way where it came from. It retraced but only halfway. And then it's moving up again, retracing, in this case back to that line. And then it started. What is going on here? I'm asking more of the new guys. Like we have a low point, a high, a low, and then price is not creating a new high. It's actually coming back, retesting this. At that point, if that happens and you see that live, price is not creating a new high and it's stuck here, what could happen? What could happen in this at this point? What could you think about at this point? Trend is over, could be one thing, yes. Or it will change the trend, yes. Indecision, yeah. What could happen? We said that before here. What happened down here? It could also, give me that one word, everybody. Yeah, it's bouncing, of course. It could. Who was listening? Range, exactly right. It might range. We don't know that. You see afterwards it's changing, but it could range. Price is not creating higher highs anymore. So you can start connecting all those lower parts, lower highs and lower highs, and then this. And suddenly, at this point, when that happened, it's just technical stuff right now. It's technical ABC basics. Okay. What is that? How do we call this? Price is not creating higher highs. It's not creating lower points on the chart. It has like horizontal support here, 3 touches, multiple touches here, no higher highs, and this line is kind of moving down. Anybody knows how we call that thing? Exactly, right? We call it either triangle or wedge or flag, whatever. As long as you identify it on the chart, you can call it whatever you like. There we go. Yeah, really, doesn't matter as long as you see it. Okay, then what does price do afterwards? It's getting out of this wedge and it's creating another 1, 2, 3 higher high, high low. It's actually moving up, retracing back, and then what's happening here again? For time it's ranging, and then it's coming out of this range, trending again. Lower highs, actually retracing lower, but it doesn't stay here for long. It's getting back up, doesn't move higher. So as long as the price is creating those higher highs and higher lows, we have an uptrend, especially when it's retracing back to that red line, which I will explain soon. Okay. Now if that is changing and price starts creating lower lows and lower highs, you see something like that. You don't have to remember all right now. I'm just, we're just practicing a little bit. Okay. Price creating a lower point, a lower high, and then a lower point, but then again a higher point. So now what happens? In order for us to trade short, meaning to start selling, price has to stop somewhere here. It has to create a lower high, but it doesn't do that. It actually goes back up. So there is no short 1 to 3. There's only a long one. Meaning price is creating now again a higher high and a higher low. So fake break. You only get stopped out if you get into this trade. Yeah. If you don't, nothing happens. So I'm just trying to explain basic 1 to 3s, and then suddenly price is not creating higher highs anymore. It stops at the previous levels, and then actually it's dropping like crazy. Range. It's a daily chart, guys, right? So that means every candle 1 day. So don't freak out. And then we have a range, and price is what you'll see. What did you see so far? Every time after range, what do you see? What happens after we have a range? And price is getting out of that range. What happens usually when that happens? This is a flag or wedge or whatever. It's usually moving fast in one direction, either up or down, for a while before it starts ranging again, and then breaking out of that range, moving fast again, and start trending for as long as it wants before it starts ranging again. You identify all the points, most touches, some are pointing out or moving out of this area. You can also draw a trend line. Then you have your wedge again, but still in this area, and then breaking out. And when those breakouts happen, the trends are becoming strong and fast. Okay, so what we want to identify is if the markets are ranging or trending in the first place when we do our top-down approach and looking at the weekly chart. We want to see if it makes sense for us to trade. Right, guys? Now, we get rid of some lines. We were at our top-down approach. What I have here is a classic Spartan template, which means we are using Heikin Ashi candles over our classic candlesticks. The reason we like to use Heikin Ashi candles, which on MT4 we are always using MetaTrader 4 to have for our charting. It's free, you don't have to pay for it, you can download it by googling it. You can open demo accounts on a million different brokers, doesn't matter, just to get the charts and to practice, right? And it's easy because you have all the tools here. The Heikin Ashi candles you will find in your navigator, and the only thing you have to do is drag and drop them over your classic candlesticks. And then it looks like this. The only thing you want to do is go to properties and make sure you have the bar chart on. Okay, otherwise it looks funny on the chart. It's all you see the classic candlestick still over those Heikin Ashi, and it looks a little bit weird. The reason we are using those on the basic template is because Heikin Ashi candles are filtering out already a lot of noise, and they're showing us the direction of the buyers and sellers. So the sellers are red, the buyers are white. By default you can change the colors, but you don't have to. Okay, so this is filtering out. That makes the charts look smoother. And there's one more thing we like to use, and those is just one indicator, and that's the exponential moving average, EMA. Again, you'll find it in your navigator. You just drag and drop it, and you can change all the numbers, right? We are using 4 different settings. So the first time you drag and drop it over, we use a 633, EMA 633. We use the 200 EMA. We use the 36, and we use the 12. The 12 EMA is our volatility EMA. The 36 is a trend following EMA. The 200 and 633 helps us to identify bigger ranges, especially on smaller time frames, and they also act in combination with some highs and lows on the chart as support, major support and resistance. Okay? Again, you don't have to remember this. You can watch it later on, and you can actually manually apply this. And if the chart starts looking like that, you can save it as template, save template as, you save it as Spartan basic or something like that, and then it looks exactly like this one. Okay, so far? If I'm too fast, you let me know. This is not much work, guys. It will take you, like when you get the hang of this, it will take you 2 minutes to set it up. And when you save it as a template, whatever pairs are you applying to your chart with a right click, template, load template, and then Spartan system, and immediately it will look like that. Okay? Very easy. Last thing you want is 1,000,000 indicators on your chart and screen. They don't do anything. They don't help in any way. It's just trying to give you some comfort sometimes, because it makes you feel a little bit stronger, but it's really, this is not real stuff. You just think it helps. Okay? We only need a couple of EMAs to help you identifying a powerful trend or range, support and resistance. The only true indicator we are having is always one thing. What is that? Who knows which indicator is actually the real true thing that never lies? Exactly. Price action. Everybody knows that at this point, right? So that's why I said at the beginning, we are looking for volatility. We want to see if we have a trend or not. Okay, now that you know more or less the basic approach, meaning that we are looking for trends or ranges, we can start doing our top-down approach together. Weekly chart is the first time frame we are looking at. On the weekly chart, we look for horizontal support and resistance, because we want to know if price is getting close to a support or resistance area, so we can take action close to this area. Why? Because if you look at this, we have some previous highs in this area. We have highs here in 2017 January. We have highs here in February, in April, in August, and now again. And price is always stopping at this level before bouncing and then going back down, and it's trying also to find the 200 EMA. Guys, can you still hear me or not? Okay. Okay, then it must be in your end, because Jeff is typing on Skype saying that we don't have audio. Went off a few seconds. Okay, sorry guys. Write it down immediately if you're losing me or something. Okay, tell me immediately. So I was just saying that we are looking for support and resistance on this weekly chart because price in this case is really bouncing each and every time it's reaching this area. Now it's getting back to the 200 EMA. Sometimes it's penetrating it for a bit, but then bouncing again. So we have another horizontal line close to the 200 EMA. So this is great information because now we have a horizontal line and a combination of the and the 200 EMA. So it's a great combination of both in this area. Yeah, it's actually supporting the theory even more. And now we know already something that only, I don't know, 0.2 or 3% of all traders in the world know, is that we have major resistance here and major support. Why only so little? Max 1%. You can say why. It's very clear. Everybody can see that. Okay? But why do I say only 1%? And I'm already giving you a big number. It's less. Why only 1% or less that sees those areas of support and resistance? Any ideas? Exactly, Elliot, right? Nobody's looking at a weekly chart. I'm not kidding. Nobody knows that here is that we have major support and resistance unless they are, like, I don't know, watching all the news calendars and are into details a lot, which is also not good for you. Okay? But most traders, especially people that like to look at charts, don't bother with higher time frames than sometimes 1 hour and 4 hourly max as their highest. But the weekly chart and the daily charts are the most important charts because they will tell us most of the times where the major support and resistance areas are. So when we are in a trade, we know exactly where to start taking big profits out. Or if an area like this is breaking or bouncing, we know where to look for setups and what to target next. And again, nobody's doing that. Okay? Because the whole Forex business is created that way that you trade ideally all day long. So the brokers can make a lot of money from you and your spreads. Okay? They don't mind if you make money. They actually don't care. But they want to make as much money of your account as possible. Which means if you trade all day long and you trade on 1 minute charts and 5 minute charts, they will make a lot of spread. And if you lose, okay, no problem for them. Most of them are not real ECN brokers anyway, so they're like opening positions in-house. And if you lose your account, it is not even in the real market, so it's all theirs. And then they hope you open another account so they can make more money. Now, I don't say that so you can start hating all brokers. It's just what they do. It's just like knowing, when it's raining, rain is wet. It's just how it is. Okay? But we need them to trade. But what we don't need is to listen to them. Okay? We don't need to follow anything they say. What we want from them is the charting and the opportunity to use the leverage and trade and hopefully make money. Yes, it's true. Yeah, really low spreads on IC markets. I haven't had any bad experience so far, so yeah, you can try them out. I have multiple, practice accounts with them to test out for members. So yeah, IC is good. This one is also one, by the way. See, IC markets. Now, remember again, you have a huge advantage by doing the top-down approach and looking at the weekly and daily charts. On the weekly chart, horizontal support is what we like. Here we go. And resistance. So this pair is telling us that we have a big chance of a bounce here or a break. Now if the price is going to break those highs, yeah, and it includes also those spikes here, usually, you know, we don't want to look at each and every tiny spike. We look at multiple touches. So when we see an area where once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, where the price is really stopping, more or less this area is what we like to use for our lines. And in this case, we don't need to leave that line at the highest points or at the bodies, somewhat in between, so you know this whole area is resistance. What about the next area? Okay, the next area of resistance would be here, because here we have lows, sorry, oh man, lows from 2014, 15, here again 15, and then again in 16. And of course, if price is breaking this resistance and we get setups, what would be our next target? If we want to get in here somehow long to buy this pair, what would be a long-term target? Which area? You tell me, guys. Exactly, right? The next highs. Is that simple? And from where we are to here, it's 400 or 500 points. So we try to think big. We don't try to think, okay, how can I snatch 2-3 pips, and then I have to look for a new trade and do it again and again and again. So this is very time consuming and also really hard for your brain. Not actually good, especially if you're new. You know, some people love to do that, but they have also a little bit of experience. So mainly on the weekly chart, we are looking for horizontal support and resistance wherever we get it. And if there's a powerful trend line, which we don't have on this chart, then we don't have to draw it. A powerful trend line, let me get rid of those lines for now, would be, no sound, guys? Is the sound back? Okay, great. Perfect. So we did that already here. We started before. Now you will probably understand much better what I am trying to explain here. This is one trade we took last year. I took last year for my clients. So what happened here is you can only see the 4-hourly chart, and I don't go back to like daily and all the other time frames because it will take too long. But now that you know the top-down approach, if when I explain, you will understand immediately. What we had here on this pair was a range. So the highs you see here, those highs and this high and this low here was actually the low. Sorry, echo. What about now? Is it better now, guys? Okay, so if there's any trouble, you let me know, right? You see my mouse moving? Yes? No? Really? That's weird. Let me try something. So again, on this is a 4-hourly chart, but on the daily chart and the weekly chart, we had horizontal resistance up here, the lines we did before, and support in this area down here, a little bit lower actually. Okay? So this trend line did come from a daily chart. And what? How can that be? Still now? What about now? Is it? It's okay? Weird. You tell me immediately, right? So this line is coming from a daily chart, visible on the 4-hour. You can see the details. And what happened here? We had already lower lows and lower highs. We had a range, and then we got this 1, 2, 3 setup. The 12 is crossing the 36 down, indicating that a trend might change. Of course, in a range, the crossovers don't mean anything. So after the crossover, we still need a lower point. This low is lower than the previous ones. And the lower high, price is retracing back, in this case to the 12, to the 633 and 200. They're all in this area, squeezed together. Okay? So 1, 2, 3. And then this 2 to 3 line, as we call it, from point 2 to point 3 is breaking, price is moving lower. When that line breaks, we find entries. The next candle, usually the close of the next candle after that break, is our entry. And it should change the color. Like if we are looking to sell, we want a red candle. So you don't see it, but there is a red candle on this break, and it's closing here at this lila line. Okay, it's probably too small for you to see, but it's there. So 1, 2, 3, and entry here. Now, getting in here was a little bit tricky because I had my lower low on this chart. This low is lower than that, but it was also spiking, so it means it didn't really create more candles that moved lower, like a clean lower low and lower high. It was a lower low, but very close to those previous lows, and then a retracement. An entry here was kind of, I wouldn't say extreme or dangerous, but it was not textbook stuff. Okay, usually when we get a 1, 2, 3 setup after a trend line break coming from this time frame or higher time frame, we want to see the chart on this end at the entry price kind of clear. We don't want to see candles playing around in this area, ideally. But we don't always get perfect textbook entries. So, because I have 2 good reasons I took the trade. One was a big range, the lows here in this range coming from the daily chart. I had a trend line break coming from the 4-hourly and daily, and a first 1, 2, 3 setup with this break. Okay? Range. I had a setup. I wanted to take a trade, if possible short, to target the lows of this range long term. Okay, so I needed a reason. The reason was a daily trend line break in combination with a 4-hourly trend line break, a 1, 2, 3 setup, and an entry here. It wasn't perfect because I had a movement very close to my entry level visible on the chart, which makes it not perfect. Therefore, what I immediately do, if I see something that is not perfect, I lower my risk. You can write this down, general stuff, but very important right now, okay? You don't even have to remember what a perfect setup is or not so perfect, but I want you to understand, get the point today. Yeah, we cannot cover it all in an hour or 2, but you get the point, the important parts. Yeah, so I lower my risk to 0.5%. Unfortunately, everybody is calculating in pips, in what about leverage, and what about this and that. It doesn't mean anything. The only thing that is important is percentage in risk. You know, your risk in percentage. Sorry. So you want to know, okay, if I get in here and my stop on this 4-hour chart is up here, which is 60 points, 60 pips, You don't care about how many positions, you know, how many pips and what my targets must be. Yes, you must be, you know, you must know your targets in pips because you also know your stop in pips, but you want to calculate this risk in percentage. Meaning, if I get in here and my target is down here, which is more or less 3 times what I'm risking, okay, how much is that? And I don't want it to be more than 0.5%. If you don't know, that's a great thing. We have an EA, an indicator that comes with a program that does it for you. The only thing you have to do is, you know, say how much you want to risk, and then the risk calculator will calculate the position size for your account for you. So it doesn't matter. So it doesn't matter how big the stop is. If the stop is 20 pips or 60 or 100 or 200, if you tell your indicator that I want to risk 0.5%, it will calculate the risk, the lot size for you. Okay? But don't worry about that right now. What I want to know is, how much do I want to risk? And I want to risk 0.5% for this trade. This is exposure for the whole account. Okay, so if my account is, I don't know, 1,000, I don't want to risk more than 0.5% for this trade, because in case it doesn't work out and price hits my account protection order, I lose 0.5% of my account, which is nothing. Sorry, not 0.5%. Yeah, it's 0.5%, 0.5. Okay? Which is nothing. You can trade many times still, so you don't do any damage to your account. If you don't know this stuff, if you don't know how much to risk and how to calculate it, it can kill an account in no time. Right? That's why software is helping us with that. The only thing we need to know is the rules, the money management rules for the whole system. So again, I get in here, my stop is 60 pips. I tell my software that I want to risk 0.5%. It will calculate the risk, the size for me, and I don't worry about anything. I just know that if it doesn't work out, I lose 0.5%, and that's it, and I'll just continue trading. Okay, so here's my entry. If my stop is 60 points, like in this example, and I have split my position into 3 parts, that means I open 3 positions. Okay? My first target for the first position is 1-to-1. So if I have a stop of 60 points, I'm going for 60. My second target, the second part of this trade, is targeting twice as much, so 120. And usually I leave my third lot running for as long as possible. Now if I have major support in this area down here, I usually, what I think is that it will probably bounce and then go back up. But because we never know, nobody knows where price is really going to go, we always keep the last lot running as a bonus lot. In case it breaks support and moves lower, we can make much more on the third position. Only if price decides something else, it will hit our account protection order wherever we have trailed it at that point, and then we take whatever profits are left. So in this case, I got in here, target 1 and target 2 got hit, okay, and my stop is trailed above that EMA, the 36 EMA, which is my trend following EMA, as long as possible. And when it reached this area, price was down here, I manually closed 50% of that remaining position. Why? Why did I close 50% of the last lot down here? Anybody? Any ideas? What did I just say before? No, I didn't want to hedge anything. But why there? Why exactly, right, guys? Major support is in this area. So I try to not overanalyze things. I just say, okay, I know here's major support. It will probably bounce. So I take manually out half of my position because I saw, first reaction here, first white candle. I said, okay, I'll take something out here because it's getting late and I'm not here and I don't know what. So what will happen overnight, I don't know. But when I come back, I want to make sure I made something good here. Okay, and major support. So it's, for me, it's a psychological thing. If I see prices getting close to major support or resistance, and it's my third lot, I usually close manually half of my remaining position just because it makes me feel good. Okay, and if price continues moving down, great, then I don't have to look for new trades. I just make more on the remaining position. And sometimes, not often, not every time, right? So maybe 1 out of 3, 4 trades, things go much, much better than expected because I kept this position running. And personally, I have this policy where I just always leave half a position running of a remaining lot because long term it just makes huge profits just by keeping one position running on a very powerful existing swing trade. It's just so nice, free money. Okay, again, we go into detail in the 5 days workshop, but I just want to give you some little things, details, technical details. Okay, when I trail the stop or my indicators in the A's do that for me, then at this point I get stopped out and I take, again in this case, almost 2 times my stop in profits. So the third lot also makes good profits, and the whole trade closes with about less than 1%. But I risk only half, so I made about twice what I risk on this trade. Okay, that's exactly mindset. Now what? So when that happened, because I did take 50% out here, and I assume that if price is going back up, it will kick me out here, still with profits, but it will kick me out. It doesn't make me feel bad. Why? Because I knew exactly what I was doing. So I'm not happy that I get stopped out. I'm always thinking about this breaking support and moving lower, but that is just what I want. The market is the boss. So if the market doesn't want to move lower, it doesn't matter what I want. Okay, so price will retrace, it will kick me out. I'm still happy and thankful for the profits. I always say thank you. Okay, and then I look for the next good thing. And what I have here is immediately a 1 2 3 setup, a steep 1 2 3, meaning I get a retracement, but it's kind of really going up steep like this short and retracing back to here, and then I see a long entry immediately after price crossing the 36. So why would I do something like that? I mean, I've done my top-down approach, right? I have a trend line here. I know here's major support. I know here's major resistance coming from the daily and weekly chart. And then suddenly I see a 1 2 3 to buy now. Why would I do that? Any ideas? Why would I go long here? For what reason? Exactly right. It's bouncing. It's bouncing up. It's bouncing on major support. I get a setup. I know we have a major range, and now I know, okay, price doesn't want to go down. It probably wants now to bounce and go up and reach those highs again. So I get in immediately to take more profits and target this the highs of the range. Okay. Now, my stop is 70 pips. Again, I split this 70 pips trade into 3 positions, but I risk only 0.2% on this one. Why is that? Why would I risk only 0.2% if I usually risk 0.5? It's also, if you look at it, it's also like a trend going down. So I have a little trend line break here. I have also a first setup. A first setup is really good stuff. Yeah, it's a range, right? So not going against anything right now. Yeah, now. Exactly, right? It is very close to resistance. Like I have the 200 EMA, but not only the 200, I have it in combination with those previous lows again. Before on this entry, I had it close, but the target was really far away. So 3 times my stop. In this case, if I have a stop of 70, my resistance, the targets, are only 70 pips away. So maybe price hits those target one and then goes back and does something else. Okay, so immediately say, if I have too much resistance, range or not, volatility or not, I risk much less because I don't know what's going to happen. Will it reach the resistance and then bounce, or will it break through it? If I have so many things, the 200, the 600, remember, those are acting as support and resistance as well. In combination with previous lows, this means my account protection order of 70 pips and target would be 1 to 1, not 3 to 1 like here, or 2 to 1 at least. That makes me risk much less. Okay? So I got in here, price went up a couple of pips, decide to go back. There was news announcement, by the way, which I kind of, didn't pay attention to. I don't pay too much attention to it. Anyways, so it went down, it hit my stop by a couple of pips, and then it went my way. So did I make any profits here? Nothing. I got kicked out, lost 0.2%, so the remaining profits on those two is 0.7 in the end. Okay, but because my risk was smart, it didn't really do any harm to my previous profits. Just to get one example so you understand. Okay, now, did I like it? No. I'll tell you, even after 18 years, if I lose a trade, I never like it. It will never stop this thing. Nobody will ever like a losing trade. It's just how it is. Okay? Even if they tell you, oh, just be cold and blah, blah. Maybe some people can do it. I don't believe it. I know traders. I know a guy that trades amazing amounts. It's like crazy. He always hates it. Every time he loses a good trade, that looked good, and he doesn't make any profits, he's freaking out every time. But everybody manages differently. I don't care too much because I think in percent, and percentage is low, so no harm done. It doesn't mean that I have to like it, right? I just don't bother too much. Of course, when you see afterwards that it really went your way, of course you don't like it, especially when that happens. Okay? And it happens from time to time. So in this case, you have to know a few, mindset tricks to don't get too sidetracked, to stay focused and to focus actually on your plan and not on something stupid that happens from time to time. Okay? Exactly, yeah. A good trade is a loss is still a good trade. Yeah, because you are protecting your account. Your first mission goes for everybody is not to make money. The first mission is to protect your investment. And then you start making money. You have to think like that. Always remember that. Nobody that trades those markets are giving their money away for free. They all fight for it, especially the big and powerful traders, and also the brokers, right? They want all to make money. So you have to really be smart. And it starts with some technical skills, mental skills, but most of all, money management. You can lose 70% of your trading. We're running the numbers for years now, so you can use this simple base. This is only one strategy, the basic Spartan strategy. It's not even bounce trading, it's not hedging, it's not breakout trading, it's just basic 1, 2, 3 trading. Okay? Even if you lose 7 times out of 10 using this strategy, which you shouldn't, you should win about 70-80%, especially on swing trading, of your trades. But even if you would lose 70%, you still can make money using this simple strategy like that, if you know money management rules and how to do it. Okay, this is very, very important. One trader, the guy I did refer to earlier, that goes crazy every time he's losing. He's going crazy a lot because he has a losing ratio of, I think, 70-80%, which is, it's crazy. I personally couldn't trade like this because I would be in a bad mood all day long, right? And still, he managed to make millions over the years, millions. Yeah. So really, you have to stop thinking like everybody else does. All the books are writing about, okay, yeah, it's simple math, win 70-80 times, then you make money. If you win less, you lose. It doesn't work like that. It's only theory. All those people that write these things probably never traded in their life. Okay, I don't believe it. Because everybody I know that trades and trades really, really good doesn't say those things. Of course, you can have a winning strategy of 60, 70, 80, 90%. It's possible, yes. But that doesn't mean anything. You can have a 90% winning trade ratio, whatever, and still lose money. Because when you win, you go for 2-3 pips, and when you lose 60, you still lose money. Okay, so those numbers are not, it doesn't work like that. And this is something we are going to discuss in much detail by the end of November, right? Very, very important that you understand these things. Okay, so that was one example showing you where I wanted to get in as a reversal trade, short, now long. I want to take advantage of this, which usually works fine, but in this case it didn't. No harm done. It was just one trade. Remember, we don't think in terms of, we don't focus on one trade. Now, one trade is only one trade. We focus on profits after 10 trades. What I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong. This you have to focus on. What do I have to keep, from my strategy, my trading plan to make the profits? What do I have to get rid of? Something that bothers me, that doesn't make me profits. Keep what you like, get rid of what you don't like and what doesn't work. And that comes with exercise and practice. But it's not difficult. It really isn't difficult. Okay, let's go to the next one. Sorry guys, that was not this. Where do I have this? Just give me a second. Let me know if you can see this, and if you can see also my mouse moving or the cursor. Yes? Okay. Now, here we have again the USD Canadian dollar. Also, again last year. Now we have, in this case, we had a downtrend. It was really going down. Okay, so we had daily 1 to 3s, and this trend line here that you see breaking is the 2 to 3 line coming from the daily chart, like a daily 1 to 3, and it hit resistance, which is also the 200 EMA. And after that, price did bounce on this. So I had a trend line coming from the daily chart to the downside, and I have this 4-hourly trend line break. So the main trend is short, everything is pointing down, and then I get my first 1 to 3. We always want to look after the first 1 to 3. And we have a textbook 1 to 3. That means price is going down, retracing back to the 36, our trend following EMA, and then breaking the 2 to 3 line and giving me an entry exactly here. Okay? First setup policy, exactly. Price hits the first target. I have a 70 pip stop. In this case, I risk 1%. Why do I risk 1%? Any idea? Why not half? Or 0.2? Or 0.3? Because I have a daily downtrend, the price is going down. I have also short daily 1 to 3, which is actually this thing here, but it's not visible on the 4-hourly. Then I have a 4-hourly, it's the same line, 2 to 3 line break. It's the same as the daily 2 to 3. And I have a first 1 to 3, a textbook 1 to 3 with a 50% retracement. That means I have major resistance line, a downtrend anyway, daily short 1 to 3, price bouncing on resistance, and first setup. So everything is screaming to sell. And I don't have anything here other than black bothering me from going short. Sometimes on my personal account, I maybe even take 2 or 3% risk on those trades. But I cannot do that for clients. Well, they will, they won't like it. Okay. Yeah, no, that's the thing with the daily chart. I can look afterwards if I find this area in the daily. I should do that. I should be possible. Should be possible to see it. Okay. So my target was down here because this was major support, long-term target. And now what happened? I got in, target 1 hit. I'm always happy when that happens, especially when I hit target 2, because when I hit target 2, what happens automatically? We create a win-win scenario. That means we cannot lose anymore, no matter what happens to the last lot. I trailed the position over the 4-hourly 36 EMA because I saw it was very volatile, and I thought it would go because usually that's what it does. But for whatever reason, I don't know, price decided to retest the trend line coming from here in combination with the 200 EMA. And the first touch on the 200 EMA is usually a bounce anyway in a trend. So price did retrace, it kicked me out, and then it went down without me. But when I saw it, it was too late. I didn't have any chances to get in. So I have a great trade. I made 1.2% profits on this trade anyway, but I was not too happy about it because my long-term target was here. What traders do often when things don't work out their way, they start doing funny things like, okay, now it's reversing, I got kicked out, I don't like that, so I go long now or something, and then suddenly the long doesn't work out because the main trend is very strong and they don't like it and they reverse or they close or whatever, and they start giving all the profits back they just made. So you have to be really smart when things don't work out immediately as you planned. You cannot just change stuff just because the boss, which is again the market, did change its mind and said, oh no, I'm going down up now. If that happens, you take whatever the market is giving you and you follow your plan and not starting any funny business. Okay? Now, there were 1, 2, 3s. 1, 2, 3s, 1, 2, 3s visible on this 4-hourly chart. On the 1-hourly, even looking much nicer. The reason I didn't take any of those was because, according to my rules, I need a good retracement, and good retracement is a retracement of at least 50%. That means price, when the price is creating 1, 2, 3, like here I have a retracement for more than 50%. Here I have a retracement for maybe 15, 20%. That's not enough for me, so I didn't get back in. Of course, you could say, how stupid, look what happened afterwards. Yes, but I don't know that at this point. Okay, so I cannot just look what happened afterwards. Afterwards, everybody's smart, but when it happens live, you have to make decisions, and you have to make the decisions according to your plan. And my plan says nothing. When I trade the basic Spartan, I trade other strategies as well, but today we're doing only basic Spartan, right? If I trade basic Spartan on a 4-hourly chart, I don't get in on steep setups like those. I just don't. Okay? So for me, that was out of the question. And yes, afterwards, when it happened and it worked, of course I didn't like it. And I always have a little devils, flying around my head saying, why did you not take those? And then I remind myself and say, because it's not in my plan written down that I'll take those, or in my head. That's why. Okay? And that's what makes the difference, because when you're at the point where you start making money and the account is growing, even if you don't manage other people's money, it doesn't matter if you your own money, okay? And you have a lot of it, you don't have to freak out like this. You still make good money. And long term, you will make more money by following your plan than from time to time playing around and do something else. Because if, let's say I would go short here again, and then price would move against me fast. If I didn't have good money management, or I risked too much, I would give back all those profits because of a stupid decision. Okay? It's the USD Canadian dollar 4-hourly chart, Peter. Sorry, it's not visible because I had to shrink this to record, right? Now, it's August 22. Let me try to find it for you. Can you see the chart now? My chart? Okay, I think here we go. August was the last trade taken before I went on vacation. You see, this is a powerful short trend, right? If you draw this line, let's see, 1 touch, 2 touches, and later on the extension ending up here, but the angle of this line is changing to that point where it looks like this, and then it's very, very volatile, getting back to the 36. So when it's getting back to the 36, I can connect it like this, those 2 touches, more or less, okay, and the retracement to the 36 extension looks like this. Yeah, weekly, you see it's a downtrend. Sorry, I forgot the weekly for you guys, but you can see clearly trend line break, weekly downtrend. But what we didn't know is that we had horizontal support down here. From here to down here, we leave it somewhere in the middle. So we knew already that this area is major support. That's why I have that on my chart that I showed you. So I was looking, this is a daily 1, 2, 3, a big daily 1, 2, 3 coming back to resistance. And I wanted to take advantage of this downtrend and going in after that 2 to 3 line break on the daily using the 4-hourly chart. On the 4-hourly chart, I'll see my first 1, 2, 3 setup, and on this setup I got the entry. Okay, I got stopped out here with the remaining lot, trailed, still good profits, but didn't get back in. I knew that we had major support down here, so in this area I had my targets, but it didn't happen because I got stopped out before it could reach this area, what I've explained before. Now you understand the importance of the top down, because when you get in here and you know here's major support, you know what you are targeting. If I didn't manage it on the 4 hour, if I would leave my stop where it was in the first place, I would not have gotten stopped out here. But okay, I decided to manage this trade on the 4-hourly chart for my own reasons, and my reasons were simply the volatility I had. So I had really powerful steep moves down. I said, this is great, it will probably, you know, just break and then explode to the downside, which it did, but first it tested again the 200, and then it did go down. And that happens from time to time. The trick is that we don't get sidetracked and we don't get, you know, really too you know, emotionally too how can I say, you know, messed up because of that. Remember, we can never know in the end what will happen, but when we split positions into multiple parts, most of the times we will make good profits, and sometimes we'll make great profits. Remember the example, Tomek, William, I don't know, there's so many, Doreen, Samantha, all the names I don't remember, taking trades on 1-hourly charts. The previous one I think was GP CAD, with a stop of 30-40 pips, and turning those trades into 700-800 pips trades. Okay, Tomek, a couple of years ago, taking a trade with, I don't know, 20-30 pips stop and closing the swing, the last position, I think with 4,000 pips. 4,000. Now you can do the math. If your 30 pips or 40 pips is 1%, how much is 4,000? Of course, you won't get that every day. Okay, but you get an idea of what you can do. You can hedge positions. Yes, it's also a strategy that I'm doing. You can also bounce trade, and you can do breakouts. And sometimes I don't even take incremental profits. You know, there are situations where things look so clear on the chart that I almost I you know, put emphasis on the word almost know it will work out my way. In this case, I often risk a little bit more than I should, and I don't even take incremental profits. I'll just leave the whole thing running because it just looks so good. But I have so many examples for that, and how I do it and how I did it. And I also want to explain mentally, you know, how to be fit, and exercises for you to be always, you know, in a good mood and feel great about what you do. But again, I will share that all with you, but it takes time. That's why we have a 5 days event, right? We cannot do it in 1 or 2 hours. I think we already did too much today, but I hope it starts making sense to you. So I don't want to share more examples. I think you get an idea what I'm talking about. Very important is, when you create the plan, that you boost your passion for trading, that you really put all your good energy into this. Because believe it or not, if you think positive, if you think, you know, big and have a open mind, you will literally attract the good setups on the chart. If you start whining, start blaming the broker, or always find excuse for whatever, you won't be able to attract any good things on your chart. It just works like this. It's like everything in life, like simple things. You walk out, every day. If you smile, if you, greet people on the street, things are just better. Everybody is happy. You kind of, give this, share this great energy, and everybody feels good all day long. If you do the opposite thing, the whole day is lost. Okay, this you have to take, you have to practice this. Not everybody here is a person that likes to laugh or be happy all day long, for sure. But you really need to, exactly, there we go, law of attraction. You really need to start thinking and, acting, reacting, and, live differently, so you can be a magnet to good setups, to good trades, to money that is actually helping you to do whatever you like. Okay, again, as I said, I like to say, you can do whatever amount of money just in order to, if you maybe like to fire your boss, you will be able to do that, and do your own thing. You don't have to, but it's good if you get this, opportunity or chance. But this is just me. So there are many things like those and exercises that will help you to see things better, to get into trades easier, to manage them better, to make longer term profits, and not getting sidetracked all the time. Okay? Now, one other thing that will help you with this, won't take long, I'll just try to make it in 5 minutes, is using software, really powerful software. And this is actually 2 things I want to share. One you already know. And that's this. Great for manual trading. Let me go to some low time frame to show what it does. It's a little bit updated version or something. Some of you probably have the older version. So what this does, it's what I explained before. It's calculating the risk for you. Let's assume you have done your approach, and for whatever reason you you like to trade this setup. It's just an example, guys. Okay, let's say this is the 1 to 3 you were looking for all day long because you've done your top down approach and it looks so great, and you want to take this long. What this does is very simple, actually. You don't want to sit here and wait forever until this line breaks and you get a candle that would actually move over here so you can trade. Maybe you don't even have the time because you're too busy, or you have to work, or whatever. You just don't want to. So what this does, actually, it can trade for you. Okay, so you take this line and you tell it, okay, I want you to trade here when price reaches this area, and I want my count protection order, my stop, to be below 0.3 where we always put it, and I want my target 1 and 2, basic rules. You can change this, by the way, 1 to 1, 2 to 1, and I'll leave target 3 open and running so I can decide later on. And then what you do, you go into here and you change the risk. I want to risk only 0.3, and I want 3 positions. By default it's 3 positions, but you can change that. Okay, so now what happens if you say open pending order? What it does, it will wait for the price to actually go to here. Okay, and then it will open your trades risking 0.3%, like a third, of 1%, dividing the risk in 3 positions. So there we go. Nothing you have to do. You don't have to worry about how far the stop is, leverage. You just think in percentage. And you know that if that unfolds and it works out, you probably make 1% profits if it, you start trailing your stop or whatever, hitting target 1, hitting target 2. It's also showing you things like the spreads, okay. It's showing you things like, on which time frames it's pointing up and down. It's showing you in what in 1 minute that this what is it, 0 hours, whatever, candlesticks closing. When the candlesticks close, now it's stuck. Sorry guys. It's because sorry, this whole thing is stuck. So I have too many things running, but you get the point. It's showing you the targets in price. It's showing you everything. Actually, the market is closed anyway. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's closed anyway. It's Sunday. And that's it. It's really, really powerful because you don't have to think too much anymore. You don't have to worry about risking too much. If you learn the money management rules, the only thing you have to do is place your entry, place the stop. You can change the targets in the properties. Okay, you can change all that, the distance for 1 and 2 and position 3. You can also say I don't want 3 positions by changing that, for instance, to 0, and then you have only 2 positions, or you can have 1 position, whatever. Okay, and then it's done. And if you sorry, you can move this to here, and you click on open pending orders, it will then open pending orders. It will show you, by the way, that it happened. And if you don't like it, you can close all. Then we close everything. You can move your stop to break even at some point, just if you want to feel better, but I will explain about. Or you can even do market orders. You can say I want to go in right away, so you don't have to mess with the price anymore. You just have to keep it above price for longs, below price if you want to sell. That's all you have to do. And the percentage you want to risk for this trade, maybe 1%, and then you say okay, open market order, and we'll open those positions for you. Okay, if you don't want to see all that, you click hide data, and then it's done, it's gone, so it's not bothering you on the chart. So this is really, really powerful stuff that will help you trade with not thinking too much. Of course, we will guide you on those things, and they show you everything and how it works and when to do it, and when to do market, when to do pending orders, and all these things depending on the strategy. This is one. Another one I want to share with you. Yes, very, very, very powerful as well, and that would be the Spartan Power EA, which is amazing actually. And this one, guys, is totally new. Nobody has that. The first time we actually talk about this here. That needs more time to explain, but I'll show you quickly. This is actually looking for setups. So the strategy, the Spartan strategy, is in that EA. It's also as indicator works, but it's right now it doesn't matter. What it does, don't worry about it. It looks confusing, it isn't. If you look at the settings, there are a lot of things you can do, but it makes sense, when you set it up once, it's done. So what it does, you have different conditions. Yeah, and that actually a friend of mine did for us here. Condition 1, for instance, would be crossovers. Condition 2 would be 1, 2, 3s on a higher time frame. Condition 3 would be the top. This is the top-down approach, guys. It would be higher time frame 1, 2, 3s and lower time frame 1, 2, 3s. Condition 4, even lower time frame. So what happens if you set it to those conditions and put in, you know, a few numbers, nothing fancy. It's preset, by the way, most of it. Okay, what it does the full top-down approach for you. It will only alert you when all the conditions are met, like daily 1 to 3, 4 hourly 1 to 3, 1 hourly 1 to 3. If that's not met, if that's on your trading plan and this doesn't happen, you won't get any alerts, so you don't have to worry. But this does everything for you. And then you only have to decide if you like what you see. Okay. And if you like what you see, you either trade it or not. Okay, this is really, as you say, it's really cool. This is so, it's so, you know, time saving. It's like crazy. Now it gets even better because in the full version, you have presets which you can load, and that means like you don't have to type anything in anywhere. You just say I'm a swing trader, but I go down even to the 50 minutes because I like to combine 50 minutes and 1 hourly and 4 hourly charts. So I let that thing running and I wait for daily, 4 hourly, 1 hourly 1 to 3s, but I want also to see my first 50-minute setup because I don't want a small, I want a smaller stop, and I want to really turn a day trade into a powerful swing trade. So tell me whenever that happens. So you put that on your chart, you let it run, and you go away. Okay, so you don't have to do anything before. You just have to check if you like it. You don't even have to do actually a top-down approach anymore. That does it for you. But it would be great if you would learn how to do a top-down approach so you understand what a good setup is, where support and resistance is, because when you get your alerts, you want to check still manually if the targets are big enough, if it's a trending pair, if everything really looks as good as the is telling you. Most of the times, because it does the work for you, it's fine. But sometimes it's a little bit, you say like, I don't like the setup, or it's too close to resistance support, I don't take the trade. So you get your alerts, you set it all up, which we will show you exactly how that works, okay, how to set it all up. And then you just sit back and wait for your cell phone to ring or your MetaTrader to ping or whatever, so you can start trading. So I left this great surprise for the end, and I hope you like it. It's really, really something, and especially in combination with this other EA or indicators where you can place your trades and it does the risk calculation for you. It's perfect. This is also calculating risk and everything, by the way, on its own. You can also do trailing. You can tell the price if you're in a position to trail the stop below whatever EMA you choose. So there are a lot of choices, but again, for the more advanced traders, it's easy to understand, and for sure they know exactly what I mean here. For everybody that's new, it's a little bit overwhelming, but it will help you like crazy after understanding the basics. Okay, so guys, it's already over 2 hours, 2.5 hours, getting close to 3. I think it's enough. Do we have any questions? Something that you need to know before I send you the links and stuff for the upcoming workshop? Any questions, guys? You get it. This comes, guys, this comes with a full workshop. You get it for free with a full workshop, which is in November. Jeff, when are the dates? Sorry, man. It's getting late. My mind doesn't work anymore. November 19th to 23. Okay. So I have also the link somewhere. Sorry guys, I'll find it. I'll find it. Okay, this is our thing. Here we go. So you see me with my sexy shorts. And I explained that that's the link, guys. Let me paste it. Ellen, not at all. Not this one. Here's the link. Listen, it's the same, Cameron, right? Because I don't have anything else to do. I don't actually, I use it, but I don't need it because it's what I do. I trade. I don't have any other jobs. So I do my top-down approach. I like to do it, but it helps for sure with alerts. Sometimes, you know, you get sidetracked, so you get a quick alert. You can move away. You don't have to sit there. And it doesn't matter if you have enough time, you don't want to use it, you don't have to, but for sure it will help you if you don't want to sit in front of the PC all day long, right? Even if you cannot do it live, you can still watch the recordings because the whole thing is recorded. Okay, and yeah, it happens often. Yeah, that people cannot attend live, but they can watch the videos. Um, all the details are here. Let me paste it in again, just in case you didn't get it. Explaining again what it does, and for very, very limited time, we always do that after free thing, you get your EAs. Okay. We are $100 off. Yeah, for a limited time, this will change, then go to the original price. But check it out. Would be great, would be really great if you could join. I prepared a lot for that, giving you all the details, explaining everything, each and every trade, and especially in combination with the exercise, you will probably, hopefully, like it a lot. Jeff has also prepared his angle on the topic, and we'll have a fun for that week for sure. It will be same time. Usually we say 7 p.m. 1 second, I'll just look at the details. Yeah, 7 p.m. London time. Will for sure take 2 hours every day during those 5 days, and we'll use the EAs and do the top-down approach and check, of course, each and every trade, and also made some notes, especially on trades that I really liked and the ones that I didn't like at all. Good decisions I made, also bad decisions I made, and how I managed it and overcame those things, you know, these parts. And again, those EAs that we have developed, a friend of mine did that actually with me, and it took really months, again and again and again. Especially the Spartan Power EA is just like crazy work to get all the presets, combine the time frames, checking for you know, 1, 2, 3s, trend changes. Was a lot of work. So it's you will like it. I'm sure you will like it a lot. Okay. So about brokers, again, leverage doesn't matter when you have the risk calculator. Just think in percentage. I wouldn't go with more than 1 to 200. There are others that have 1 to 500. If you don't want to fund your account with too much money, but you want to take advantage of the leverage, 1/500 is fine as well. Brokers in the USA, the ones I know I've used in past and I didn't have any issues, I tried it out for members, was owanda.com. Owanda, I think it's written. Yes, exactly, that worked fine. Others I couldn't recommend right now. There were some in past, but I don't like them anymore. In Australia, this one, IC Markets, haven't seen any problems with them so far. They pay out, they do everything fast. Just open demo accounts with those guys, MT4 demo accounts. Test it out yourself. There's so many. I would actually Google it. There's so many people giving reviews. I don't know how accurate the reviews are because these things can be manipulated easily, but you just test it. Okay. What was there? One day, Ever FX. I've never heard about that. Sorry. Never heard about that, guys. But this is right now. It's not the main issue. We can discuss brokers still, as we go live and discuss and share experiences. But I know in the USA, Wanda was good. I don't know about the rules. If when you are living in the USA, if you can open accounts somewhere else. I think you can, but not many brokers accept US and Canadian clients for technical reasons, I guess. Laws and stuff. Of course, yeah. This right now works only on MetaTrader 4. FX choice, what is this? Bitcoin, why not? If it's possible, I don't know really. But Bitcoin, if you have charts on Bitcoin, it's very trendy. Oh yeah, of course. I like the Renkos a lot. But this is again part of the strategies, which I will also cover. Some trades I like to take on Renkos. For sure. Whenever they look great on the chart, like always, Greg, Sometimes Renkos look great and sometimes classic charts look great. It really depends. And again, I will explain the details live as well, the way I did it at least, or do it. Could be, yes. Bitcoin is going up like crazy. It's just not backed up anywhere. I mean, if you can trade it with leverage, it's great. Yes, it doesn't matter what you trade as long as we have it on our charts. You can use it. The systems and the strategies we are trading work on everything. Everything. As long as we have charts. Okay. Okay, guys. So I hope to see you all there. It's only like 2 weeks or something. I'm very excited about this one, tell you the truth, because it's, as I said, it's the first time we do something like that where we go back and check each and every trade. We combine the EAs that actually do the work for us. So it is huge, and we take our time really. And because everything is recorded, there's no stress in case you miss a session or something. Yeah. Great. Any other questions? EMAs, exponential. Yes, Odi. Is the EMA? Those are exponentials. Moving average exponential. If you have any questions or something you didn't understand, or if you don't get your replay link, just let us know. Send us an email to info@spartantraderfx.com. and you get your reply fast, I'm sure. Nobody has that EA, and again, yes, you guys get a discount anyway, right? That's why we're doing this. There's already $100 off right now. Complete Trader members know what to do. You give access to this, yeah, unlimited. No worries. Yeah. You can use whatever you want. Yes, of course. Whatever works for you. You can use it wherever, how many you like. It works everywhere. Keine Ursache, Michael. Alles in Ordnung. Okay. No, guys, again, the EAs go with that course. You don't pay any extra. They come with it. You get it for free. Guys, whatever questions you have about courses, about membership, about the products, you just send us a quick email. Okay? So we don't have to solve this here right now. It's much better we have it written down somewhere, you get a personal reply. Whatever it is, about programs, just send us an email. You'll always find us. Okay, guys, so my question, did you like that today? Was it fun? Was it, educational? You think you can use this? Oh, thanks very much. Okay, great. Oh, great feedback. Thanks, guys. Okay. Been using making money since July this year. Okay, well done. Great. I'm happy when I get this kind of feedback. People that make money, it's really like for us great to hear all the time. You tried several strategies, but ours is the best. Yeah, that's a word I like to hear. That's something I want to hear every day. Thanks for that. Yeah, great. Yes, guys, if you miss it, again, as I said, we upload this and send the replay to you afterwards. I just have to render it. It will probably take an hour or two. Hey, Mark. Okay, great. Thanks. Again, guys, right? If you want to sign up for this, here's the URL up here. We send you that URL today as well, and it's down here again. Send you the link. If you have any trouble signing up, you just let us know. If you think it's too cheap, you can send us another $1,000 extra, no problem. We always say thank you to that. Good joke, huh? Okay, guys. It was really nice with you. Had a lot of fun. I like it when we have so many, powerful, positive people here around. It's really fun. We enjoy a lot. Hey, great. Yeah, you're welcome. Okay, guys, thanks. Yeah, enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy also the week. Weekend is over now. Back to work. Yeah, have a great night, everybody. See you soon, right? Bye bye.